Just come down to Robber Valley. Beautiful day. Got the look at that guy there, big guy. So yeah, quite often when I go for walks or when I'm driving or whatever, I have these internal, sometimes external, out loud chats with myself. Yeah, I suppose chats with myself. I don't know, the higher self, the mind talking to the higher self, or just the higher self talking, and then sometimes you get some resistance from the ego and the mind. But usually, I have some epiphanies of some sort of understanding. I think, oh wow, that's amazing. Like I like that. It resonates. And I never journal anything. I suppose it doesn't matter, because all that matters is the moment that I experienced it in, and in that regards, as in a non-arrogant way, all that matters is me experiencing it, in that moment, exactly when I need it. So yeah, I was thinking, or feeling, as I like to start saying now, because I'm a big believer in trying to non-think and just feel. About how fearful relationships can be, feelings can be, and when we look at it from a relationship point of view, I think a lot of the time what we're looking for from the counterpart is to know that they feel the same way. And if we know that they feel the same way, we feel a bit more comfortable in how we feel. We're both singing from the same hymn sheet. The problem is you'll never know. You may have an innate feeling, but that can be difficult to differentiate between desire, fear, wants and needs. So even still, you'll only ever really know how you feel. And that is how you feel, not how you should feel, how you want to feel, how you think you feel, how you used to feel, how you expect to feel, but just how you feel right now. And the mind always wants to put a label on it so we can say, right, what are we? Are we in a relationship? Yes, we are. Right, so in that case, what does that mean? That means that there's commitment, there's faithfulness. It means that, there's unwritten rules about is it monogamy? Meaning, I won't, I know the morals, and I won't, flirt with anybody, sleep with anybody, date with anybody. And we both have an understanding of that now because we've labelled it as a relationship. However, prior to that labelling, only you, only me, the I am, knows how you feel about their counterpart without the label. And therefore that feeling, that knowing, you're already in a place of, I don't want to be dating, flirting, whatever it is, with anybody else, because that's potentially not your idea of what you do when you've got those feels for somebody else. But the mind wants the label and the confirmation, so that what? So that we're then reassured that they're on the same page. So that means they're not seeing dating, living single with anybody else or anything else. But once again, it's very clear that a label, like a relationship, a marriage, any kind of these stereotypical commitments that we've invented, don't mean anything at all. At all. All that means anything is how a person feels. And you will only ever know how you feel. So don't be scared of feeling. And if you get those feels, just be true to yourself. Be authentic with your counterpart. You don't have to, go running and telling them how you feel and blah, blah, blah. But just act naturally and organically and flow, guided by the way you feel. And if it turns out that, it didn't work out the way the mind desired it to, then there's no amount of knowing, mind knowing, egoic knowing, that would have stopped that. Had said person wrote it all down and signed a contract and said, this is exactly how I feel about you. I want a future, I want children, I want a house, I want marriage, and I want that all with you. That would make no odds as to actually where it would go in the first place. Unless it's a prenuptial agreement, then obviously financially you might be a bit better off. But even that, your feels will guide you on whether or not you should get a prenuptial agreement. It's one of those things. So what I'm trying to say is just feel. Feel whatever it is you really feel. And don't think about it. Just feel it. And if it turns out that, this person doesn't feel the same way anymore, or, like I say, the outcome wasn't what the mind was anticipating, because of the heart, the soul, the feelings. I'm trying to think if that's the path I go down, but it's a lot more overgrown than it once was. Let's have a look. Because the mind is the only thing that is anticipating outcomes, desires, wants, needs, whatever. And the heart, the soul, is just present. So it is how you feel in that moment. So if it doesn't work out that way, it doesn't mean your feels were wrong. It doesn't mean your feelings were wrong, because the feelings you were feeling were very real and authentic to you. And that's awesome. And it doesn't mean you can't trust those feelings ever again. It just means that what you felt in that moment was right. No good, no bad, just right. Right for you. Whether that's for growth, it's always growth, or whatever, it was right. And you've got to trust that. You've got to trust that. So, when it comes to relationships, you may meet somebody new, you may meet somebody old, you may have been with a person for a long time, and the mind may question things, and it may want confirmations of whether this person feels the same way about you, whether they love you, whether it's just a platonic situation, whether it's just a physical thing, or whatever. But no amount of knowledge is going to make you feel any more secure about any of it. Because quite oftenly, well, it's not even quite oftenly, but the counterpart, the other person, they don't know either. You know, all they know is how they feel right now. The mind can say, I can see myself feeling this way forever. It feels great. But they don't know that. So no matter how many vows, promises, and everything else you make to each other, the only true promise you can give is little bridges is I love you right now. And that's it. This is how I feel right now. Even the words I love you, they don't need to be spoken out loud. It's nice, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. It's beautiful. But we can feel it, you know, we can feel it. We can feel when somebody loves us. We can feel when somebody's angry at us. We can feel when somebody's disappointed in us, when they're sad with us. It's an ability that we've all got, and it's how animals and nature works. You know, animals don't talk necessarily, but they do get vibes. And they know when, you know, somebody's quite pure. They know intuitively how to judge a situation. And that's the same with us. We are animals with a conscience. The conscience is the mind, but that is not us. It's a tool that we've been blessed with, that we must use and not let it use us. And certainly not think it is us. The personality, persona, everything else that comes with the mind feels like who we are, but that's just who we identify as. It's not truly who we are. So going back to the I love yous, beautiful thing to say. But also quite irrelevant. Somebody can say I love you. You can say to somebody, please, do you love me? And they can say, yes, I love you. And you can say, are you sure? Because something just don't feel right. You know, it really doesn't matter what's said. As to what's real. Oh, that's nice. That's beauty. You know, I could put that into 1,000 words to describe it to you all, and tell you how it made me feel, and everything else. However, without sitting here, putting your feet in this water, with the beautiful rays from the sun, and the birds and the nature and whatever else is nice about it, everything. Without you being here and witnessing it and feeling it yourself, my words would not do it justice. And for me, I suppose that's the same as I love yous, I promise yous, I do's, I wills, I won'ts. It really don't matter. The secret is in the feeling. When a child does something wrong, or an adult does something wrong, and you say sorry, and they go, sorry, and you go, no, say it like you mean it. It's exactly that. We all want that. We all think we need that reassurance. It's the mind that needs it. It's the mind that needs to hear I love yous. It's the mind that needs the promises. And everything else. It's just like those sorries, those apologies we ask for, if they're not heartfelt, they don't mean anything. It's the same with love. And I think that might be about it for now. I'm going to go for a little dip in here. Probably going to come out stinking by the looks of it. But hey ho. It's only the mind that smells.